Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching and I hope you will be fluent in English. Today we share about the love story titled, Whispers of Love, Echoes of Forever.
In the small town of Lakewood, Ohio, Jane and Peter's love story began long before either of them knew what love truly meant. They grew up just a few streets apart, attending the same schools and sharing the same circle of friends. It was during their middle school years that they first noticed one another in a way that was different from the innocence of childhood. Jane, with her bright eyes and warm smile, captivated Peter, and Peter, with his quiet strength and kind heart, drew Jane in like no one else ever had. Throughout their school years, Jane and Peter were inseparable. They would spend hours talking about everything and nothing, their laughter echoing in the halls and their friendship growing stronger with each passing day. By the time they reached high school, it was clear to everyone around them that what they shared was something special. Their relationship blossomed naturally, evolving from a deep friendship into a tender, romantic love that was as beautiful as it was pure. They shared countless firsts together: their first date, their first kiss, their first whispered "I love you" under a canopy of stars on a warm summer night by Lake Erie. They would often sit by the water's edge, dreaming of a future filled with endless possibilities, imagining the life they would build together. But life, as it often does, had plans of its own. When Jane graduated from high school and started college, Peter made the difficult decision to enlist in the U.S. Army. It was a choice he didn't take lightly, but he felt a calling to serve his country. Jane supported him, though the thought of him being so far away was a constant ache in her heart. Their love, however, was unshakable. Peter would come home every chance he got, and each reunion was more passionate and intense than the last. They cherished every moment together, knowing that their time was limited. The letters they exchanged during his deployments were filled with promises of a future. They would share a small house by the lake, lazy Sunday mornings, and the laughter of children who would grow up surrounded by the love they had for each other. Then came the day when Peter was deployed to Iraq. Jane was filled with a deep, gnawing worry, but she kept her fears to herself, sending Peter off with a brave smile and a heart full of love. Even in the midst of war, their connection remained strong. They wrote to each other every day, their words a lifeline that kept them both grounded in their love. One day, Peter sent Jane a letter that was different from the others. In it, he described a dream he had of their wedding day, a small, intimate ceremony by the lake where they had shared so many memories. He wrote about how he would wait for her at the altar, his heart bursting with love and anticipation as she walked towards him, radiant and beautiful in a simple white dress. Jane clutched the letter to her chest, tears streaming down her face as she imagined that day. She began planning their wedding in her mind, every detail carefully considered, down to the flowers she would carry and the vows they would exchange. The thought of it kept her going, a beacon of hope in the midst of uncertainty. But then, one fateful day, everything changed. Peter's company was ambushed by rebels in a remote area of Iraq. The news came in the form of a knock on Jane's door, the kind of knock that no one ever wants to hear. Peter was gone, taken from her in an instant. The world around Jane seemed to crumble. She cried for days, her heart shattered by the loss of the man she loved more than anything in the world. At Peter's funeral, she stood by his graveside, holding a single white lily, the flower she had planned to carry on their wedding day. She placed it gently on his casket, her tears mingling with the rain as she whispered a final goodbye. Though Peter was gone, the love they shared remained. Jane knew that he would always be with her, a part of her soul that could never be taken away. She carried his memory with her, finding solace in the knowledge that their love had been real and true, even if their time together had been far too short. Years later, Jane returned to the lake where they had spent so many evenings together. She sat by the water, the same place where they had once dreamed of their future, and she smiled through her tears. She knew that Peter was still with her, watching over her, his love surrounding her like a warm embrace. In that moment, Jane realized that their love story wasn't over. It would continue on in her heart and in the memories they had created together. Their love had been more than just a fleeting romance. It was a timeless bond that even death couldn't break. And though they hadn't had the chance to fulfill all of their dreams, the love they shared was the greatest promise of all, one that would last forever.
We hope today's podcast will bring you many interesting things and help you practice your English listening and reading skills better. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.